Hi everyone, this is Venkata from Online Testing Help. So in this video we are going to discuss about the Agile model. Why Agile model nowadays is famous and most of the projects are using Agile model. Why the importance of Agile model and what are all the different things will be there, how the process from starting to ending in Agile model we are going to discuss in this video. And before going to that, I already done one video on Agile model terminologies. So different terminologies I discussed in this video. So before going to this video, please try to go through this one so that you will understand different terminologies in Agile model, like what is the Scrum team, who is product owner, what are all the responsibilities of him, and what is the responsibilities of a Scrum master in Agile model. So these all terminologies are very important. So if at all you want to understand the Agile model very clearly, first you need to know all these terminologies. What is Scrum team, what is the product owner, who is the Scrum master and his responsibilities, and what is task board, and what is a product backlog, release backlog, sprint backlog, burn down chart, and as well as sprint planning meeting, daily scrum, what is going to happen, and sprint review, sprint retrospection, and what is user story, what is the importance of story points, and what is team capacity, and as well as velocity. All these very clearly I discussed in other video, so please try to refer other video for this. In this video I covered all the terminologies. Here in this video I'm going to cover only the how the Agile model from starting to ending is going to happen. So the entire process I am going to discuss in this video. So before going to that, why the people or companies are using Agile model nowadays? What is the importance of it? Let me take any product nowadays in the market. Let me take a OnePlus mobile. What is happening? Every 2-3 months they are releasing a new model in the OnePlus. Not only OnePlus, any mobile, Samsung, you can take any MI or any mobile. Let me take a mobile example. At least every 3 to 6 months they are releasing a new product with new features. There is no a rule like this way, but most of the times it is happening every 3 to 6 months. They are upgrading their softwares and all. They're releasing the product into the market with new features. So they don't know when the requirements are going to change. They feel that if any feature is important for them, they are going to develop the new features and they are releasing it into the market. In that case, there is no guarantee of the requirements stability. So they will not give guarantee to the company that their requirements are stable, because they feel that some feature is very important for them. So immediately they will develop it and they will release a new model into the market. Let me take an iPhone. So many models are coming now. iPhone 11 is there. Similarly, in the future, iPhone 12, 13, 14, 15, so many number of models are going to come. It means that no requirements are stable. If requirements are stable, what will happen? Their product will be ended over there. Nobody will use their product. So no product, no company is going to give guarantee on the requirements like, my requirements are stable, you can start your project. No, not like that. So because there is no guarantee for the requirements may change at any time. If the company owner thinks that our product, a particular company thinks that their requirements are stable, they are not going to change it in the future, their product nobody will use it, because everybody looking for advanced features. Simple example, let me take Nokia is there. Once upon a time, 5-10 years back, Nokia is the mobile everybody is having in India. Later on, what will happen? Android people try to reach the Nokia and they are asking Nokia to use their software to develop the Android mobile. But Nokia denied and updated them that Nokia is going to develop a new software for that. Meanwhile, all other companies adapted the Android, and they developed all the mobiles. So Nokia is backwards. Now in India, you know how many people are using Nokia. So every company ready to adapt the features which are there in the market, or they will try to develop the new functionalities. Day by day they will try to groom their application or groom their product with the latest features and all. So in that case, if we follow the waterfall model, what will happen? Whenever there is a requirement change, even for that also I covered one more video on waterfall model, you can refer it. So all the phases like requirements analysis, design, coding, testing, delivery and maintenance. If requirement is changing in the testing phase, again you need to start from the beginning, because in waterfall model you are doing everything at once. All the requirements need to be gathered, all the design, all the coding, everything and testing. So it is going to take a lot of time if you will follow the waterfall model. So then you can consider VV model, verification and validation model. Same case over there also. That is the reason Agile model is playing major role if your requirements are keep on changing. If your requirements are keep on changing, Agile only the model suitable nowadays. That is the reason most of the companies are using Agile model for their application development or testing. So Agile model is the software development lifecycle model. Every product, every company is using, because nobody will tell them that their requirements are stable. If their requirements are stable, their product is gone. Everybody need to enhance their features. Every second, every minute they are going to discuss about what are all the advanced features they need to invent, and they need to upgrade their mobile, or they need to upgrade their product and release it in the market. So that is the reason only for the unstable requirements projects we are going to use the Agile model. If requirements are stable, well and good, you can go with the waterfall or spiral or VV models. But whereas no company is telling that requirements are stable, because at any time the requirements may change. They don't know, based on their innovation team come up with some or other features. Immediately the requirements will be changed. Accordingly the development team need to work, accordingly the testing team need to work. That is what happening in the nowadays market. So that is the reason Agile model is playing major role for the unstable requirements projects. So as I told you in the beginning, you can go through the terminologies video which is there in my channel, Online Testing Help Venkat Krishna. So on coming to the Agile model, so as I told you, it is going to use it for the unstable requirements projects. So the requirements are keep on changing, but still the development team need to accept those changes. The testing team need to accept those changes, and based on those changes, again the development team need to change the coding. Again testing team need to update their test cases and test scenarios. Accordingly they have to perform the testing, and they need to give the end product to the customer. So these all things. So in Agile model, everybody should ready to accept the changes from the client. We should not say that we don't have that much time. So we cannot say that the entire architecture is changing because of this change. We cannot say that we cannot test it these changes. No, nothing. So nobody will say like that. Everybody should ready to accept the changes, because there are no changes that customer gone. Day by day the technology is increasing, day by day features are increasing. That is the reason everybody should ready to accept the changes in Agile model. Now let me talk about some terminologies before going to start with the process. So Scrum Master. Scrum Master is the person who is going to organize the testing and development teams. So and also, before going to start explain about the Scrum Master, Agile model is okay. So having the small teams, though their requirements are big, they will divide the teams into smaller. Like for example, 2 developers, 1 tester, okay, that is one team. Or 3 developers, 2 testers, that is one team. They're going to work on some module. They're going to, other team is going to work on other module. Finally, they're going to integrate everything. So in agile model, smaller teams will be there. That is the advantage. So they are breaking entire team into a smaller teams because they can easily manage the teams, because in agile model and all there is no managing. It is self-directed model. Everybody need to know what they are doing, what are all the different requirements are there, what they supposed to work. So like in older models and all, there is a team lead, there is a test manager, test lead. Not like in this model. It is a self-motivated model. Everybody need to motivate themselves. Nobody will be there in back end and keep on asking you what is the status, what is the status and all. Not like that in agile model. It is a self-motivated model. Okay. So in agile model, yeah, as I told you, smaller teams will be there, and it is a self-motivated model. There is no company hierarchy and all. Most of the times these teams are driven by the client. So every small team, there is a scrum master who is going to organize the things, not to manage the things. There is no managing in agile model. Everything is organizing. So scrum master job is to organize the development team, testing team, what they are doing and where they stuck it, whom to contact to resolve that issue if they are not able to resolve their own. So who is the contact person for that? So like these all organized by the scrum master. So every day we are going to have a call with the entire team, and we are giving updates. So that we are calling in real time as a scrum meeting. So we're going to give the updates. Each team member need to give the updates. So what they are done today, what they are going to do tomorrow, and what are all the obstacles, means issues they are facing today. So these 3 things, they every day, mostly this call as a smaller teams, as I told you, it is going to take max 15 minutes to discuss on the that day status and next day what they are going to work and what are all the obstacles, issues they are facing. So that is about the scrum master role. And scrum master role, another role is also create the stories, create the product backlog or release backlog or sprint backlog into the tool. Most of the times in agile model, we are working with the Jira tool. Jira is the agile administrative tool where you can perform the raising the bugs also, you can do it, maintain the test cases also, you can do that, managing the cycles also, you can do that with Jira model. In other video I will try to cover the Jira functionalities, how it will work and all. But coming to this model, yeah, agile model, that is the job of a scrum master, and get the inputs from the product owner, and based on the product owner inputs you need to create the stories and allocate those stories into the particular sprint. Okay, most of the time sprint duration will be 2 to 4 weeks will be there. Okay, so because they are not expecting entire application in that 2 to 4 weeks, they are expecting, even though it is a smaller one, but they are expecting some deliverables in those 2 weeks, whatever the highest business value they are having, highest business value stories or functionalities they are expecting. That is a more value added to the customer. He feels that he cannot wait until the end of the year or 2 years to his product. Every 2 weeks something has to develop, something has to test it, and we need to deliver it to the client. So that is the value added to the client. One by one the different features they are going to develop it and test it. That is the reason they are maintaining smaller teams, and easily they can manage, as well as so more output will be there because it is a self-motivated model. And coming to the product owner, he is the person from the client side. So he is closely working with the business team, and he will try to get all the requirements from the business team, what they are expecting, what are all the other functionalities are there which they need immediately from the development team. So product owner is the person closely working with the business team, so he will get all the inputs. Accordingly, he will prioritize and give it to the teams. So based on his priority, everybody need to work on those particular highest business value functionalities and requirements. So that is job of the product owner. So in the beginning, so this is the high level diagram. So try to understand. So what happened? Project requirements will be there. High level requirements will be there. These requirements, okay. As I told you, so the product owner is going to get the all the business requirements from the business team. After that, those all requirements will be divided into stories. In Agile, we are going to call it as a story. Story is nothing but a requirement. Okay, so let me take a Gmail. Story is something like verify the login functionality is one story. Verify the inbox functionality is one story. So story is nothing but a requirement is a high, it is the high level one where they are broke down into number of stories. Okay, story is the smaller one when compared to requirement. So that stories, Scrum Master will create all those stories in real time, and those all stories will be prioritized by the product owner, as I told you. So it is going to happen here. These are all the requirements prepared by the Scrum Master, and so these all stories will be prioritized by the high priority or high business value stories will be prioritized by the product owner. And before going to all these, okay, so before going to all these, there is a sprint, a planning meeting will be there for the beginning. In the sprint planning meeting, everybody is going to discuss what are all the stories are there, which stories they need to pick up for that sprint. As I told you, sprint is a 2 to 4 weeks duration. What they need to pick for that sprint. And before going to this, there are different terminologies like the stories or all the different enhancements related to our application is coming under product backlog. All the stories will be there. Whatever they think that they can improve, those all they are going to create as a product backlog. Okay, product backlog is something like all the pending requirements in high level. Okay, those all stories will be there in the product backlog. From the product backlog, those stories, okay, all the stories will be there. After then, they are going to decide what to deliver for this release, because everything they cannot deliver like waiting for 1 year, 2 years and all. In that case, we may not get the all the we may not get all the requirement at once for us. So in that case, what will happen? So in that case, what will happen? If everything we are going to deliver at the ending, so the client need to wait 1 year, 2 years and all. So that is not the case. Client will not wait those many years to deliver his project. Even so, in this case, that is the reason we are delivering smaller things to the client, which is highest business value added to the client. So before going to the, okay, as I told you, product backlog will be there. Okay, it is containing all the pending stories. From the product backlog, and the product owner will decide what stories the business people need for that release. Release may be for 1 month or 2 months duration. Okay, so that will be decided by the product owner by discussing with the business team. Okay, so if they assume that okay, 2 months one release is there, that 2 months will divided into 4 sprints. Most of the times 2 weeks duration will be their sprint. Okay, so that product backlog highest stories will be taken into the release backlog. In that release backlog, highest business value stories will taken into the first sprint, and next business values to the next sprint. Okay, in this case, after 4 sprints, end of the 2 months, they are going to release it to the customer or release it into the live production. So before sprint backlog is selected, all the stories, there is a sprint planning meeting will be there. In that sprint planning meeting, everybody is going to involve, like Scrum team will be involved over there, Scrum Master will be there, development team, testing team, everybody. So Scrum Master will update to the everybody that these are all the stories are there in release backlog. These are all the high priority stories. So in that 2 weeks duration, let me assume sprint is 2 weeks. In that 2 weeks duration, what can you able to complete it? What are all the stories we can accommodate in that sprint? So here one more new terminology is playing major role. Story points will be there. Each and every story is containing the story points. Usually story points are Fibonacci series 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, like this way. Story points are Fibonacci series. So everybody need to, each and every story, high prioritized stories, everybody need to tell what is their story points for that story and why. Why they are giving, let me assume 8 points or 13 points. Why they are giving those points, they need to explain very clearly to Scrum Master and as well as the entire team. So if story points are decided, okay, fine. But let me assume, okay, 4 members team is there, development 4 members are there, testing 2 members are there. So they have some capacity, right? Team capacity means how many hours they are having. If 4 members a team, in an agile model, the development, every day productivity hours are 6 hours only, remaining 2 hours for meetings. So 6 hours productivity case, let me assume 20 days, 20 working days. Everybody is having 120 hours. 4 members are there, 480 hours is their capacity. 480 hours is their capacity. In that 480 hours, how many story points they can able to complete it? That is velocity. Okay, at what rate you are converting each story point is nothing but velocity. So these all terminologies already explained in other video, as I told you. Please try to go through that video before trying to go through the agile model video. Okay, that's fine. So in the sprint planning meeting, as I told you, what are all the high prioritized stories are there? Those high prioritized stories picked up, and everybody need to give the each story how many story points they can give, and what is their capacity, how many story points they can able to complete in that 2 weeks duration. How many story points they can able to complete in that duration. Then based on the team capacity, they are going to take those many stories into that particular sprint. That is what going to happen in the sprint planning meeting. They are going to plan what stories they are going to complete in the 2 weeks duration. So based on the team capacity and velocity, the number of story points will be calculated, and how many they can able to complete in that particular sprint will be decided. Well, okay, so in this case that is about the sprint planning meeting. Okay, once sprint planning, what we are doing, so we are product backlog, we are getting the stories into the release backlog. From the release backlog, we are getting the stories into the sprint backlog. Then sprint is going to start. In that sprint, what all the stories are there? Every team member need to create their own tasks in Jira tool, or so many tools are there. Version 1 is there, Jira is there, so many tools are there, but a famous one is Jira nowadays. So they're going to create their own tasks. So what are all the different tasks? If at all development team is there, they're going to create their development tasks. Testing team is there, they're going to create their own testing tasks. Coming to the testing tasks, what will be there? Preparing the scenarios, preparing the test cases, and executing the test cases, analyzing the results, and bug tracking if something is not working. So updating the everything to the client in on time. So these are all we are going to create the tasks, and these tasks again, these are all the models are same: analysis model, design model, but these all happening for what? Only the sprint. What are all the stories you have taken, you considered in the sprint planning? Only those stories, these all phases are going to happen. For example, you are in testing phase. In testing phase, you observed, okay, requirements are changed. Is it going to impact the entire application? No. It is going to impact only that particular sprint. That 2 weeks duration it is going to impact. Then it is a less duration, right? Then the client also will not worry about that. If any changes will be there, again in the next sprint, the team will take it up, those all enhancements, and they will continue. So that is what, that flexibility will be there in Agile model, right? So once team is added all the tasks here for that particular story, well, so all these different phases are going to happen in that 2 to 4 weeks duration. Then what will happen is, okay, and as I told you, daily scrum meeting is going to happen. In this scrum meeting, 3 things as I told you. One is what you have done today, what you are going to do tomorrow, and what are all the issues you are facing today. These 3 things they are going to discuss in this daily scrum meeting. Okay, fine. Next, okay, we have added the tasks, we are ready with our test cases and test scenarios, and then the development team also ready with their developed code from their end. They need to give the demo to the testing team, because in older days and all, you know, right, they will give build to us, we will perform smoke testing in 1 day, and at the end of the day we are going to update to the development team that nothing is working. 1 day time is gone. That is the reason they are going to give that we are going to call as a ONM, overnight meeting. So each and every story the development team will demonstrate what they developed, how it is working. Okay, so if everything is working, then only testing team will accept that story for testing. So development team has to demonstrate what they developed for that story in this ONM, overnight meeting. Okay, if something is not working, then the testing team will not be taken that story for major testing. Okay, fine. If they have given demo overnight meeting, if everything is working for that particular story, then they are going to accept that story for major testing, and we are going to test each and everything as per our test scenarios and test cases. We will test the everything according to that story. If any bugs are there, again we will raise the bugs in Jira tool, and we will send it to the development team, let they get fixed, and we will perform our regression testing and retesting for that particular issue. All these will happen. Okay, so for example, let me assume 4 stories are there for that particular sprint. For the 4 stories, all these things will happen. ONM, overnight meeting, take the demo from the development team. If everything is working, accept that story for testing, perform your own test cases and test scenarios execution on it. If something is not working, again send it back to the development team, again get the latest build from them, perform the retesting, perform the regression testing, and perform the system testing, and hand over it to UAT. So these all will happen. Okay, let me assume 4 stories are there. 4 stories are everything is working. No major open bugs are there. Then from testing team we need to give sprint demo to product owner and stakeholders. Stakeholders means is the kind of business people. We need to give demo to them. In this demo, if they understand that okay, as per their expectation, if these all stories are working, then well and good. Then they will accept it to live. Live means production. Then they will accept to move these all stories into the live environment. If they feel that some story is not working according to their expectation, or they are planning to change that story functionality, then that story will not go into the live. Remaining 3 will go into the live. In next sprint we are going to take that as an enhancement. So that will happen like that way. Okay. So next, sprint to live means it is the production which is available to the end users. Okay. And at the ending we are going to do the sprint retrospection. It means that if something is happened, see for example in general scenario, if some situation happened, you are going to learn something on that situation or not. It is a lessons learned to the particular situation. How you resolved it, how you did not able to resolve it, what good you have done, what bad you have done. So these all things are very, very important to move ahead in our career. Okay. So sprint retrospection is something like what went well, what not went well, what are all the lessons learned from there. So in this meeting, usually Scrum Master, product owner most of the times will not involve. So here in this meeting we are going to involve Scrum Master and the entire team will be there. They are going to discuss about the what are all the best things they have done, what are all the bad things they have done, how they can improve in the future sprints. Okay. Once sprint retrospection is completed, again we are going to start with next sprint. Again same procedure. Again stories prioritized by PO. Again add tasks. Again we will develop our test scenarios and test cases. Again development team will give the demo, and as it is going on for the number of sprints until release sprint. Okay. Once release sprint is also done, then we are moving that particular code or release backlog all the stories into the live environment. So this is what in real time it is going to happen. So you need to understand here what is story, what is tasks, okay, what is the responsibilities of the BA, what is the responsibilities of the product owner, Scrum Master, what are the tasks you are creating, what is the duration of the sprint. These all things are how you are giving demo to the product owner and stakeholders. That we are calling it as a sprint review. Okay, giving demo to the product owner and the stakeholders is a sprint review. So this is what going to happen in real time on Agile model. Let me show you another diagram. So this is also same so sprint backlog and backlog item expanded by team from product backlog, sprint backlog, and sprint backlog all the stories, and it is going to do every 24 hours there is a scrum meeting. As I told you what I have done since the last scrum meeting, what I have planned to do before the next issues I have faced. Okay, once this process is done, then new functionality we are going to take. Some more detailed architecture I have created, this one. So this one is more detailed one. So I will try to explain you this one also, because so far whatever we discussed, that is the process, that is the Agile model. In this diagram just I am going to elaborate more. Okay, so requirement will be there, product owner will be prioritized. Okay, then Scrum Master, stories will be allocated. Before allocating the stories, so sprint planning meeting will happen. In that sprint, what are all the stories we need to consider will be decided, and those all stories will be allocated to that particular sprint as per the team capacity and as per the velocity. So, and that is done. Next, team is going to create their own tasks, okay, like their own tasks in the sense, prepare the test scenarios, one task, prepare the test cases, one task, execute the test cases, okay, bugs tracking, one task. So different testing related tasks they are going to update. Next, once we are ready with our test cases and test scenarios, next story demo. I told you, right, ONM, overnet meeting. So then the story demo will happen. In this story demo, the development team, as I told you, the development team will give demo to the testing team. Based on that, the testing team will decide. Uh, what to cover. So what they have covered in that functionality of the story. If it is working fine, it is working well and good, then testing team will accept that story. Otherwise, they will not accept it for major testing. So story demo is a ONM. So in that ONM, you're going to do the actual testing. In that testing, so if you feel that some functionalities are not working, then you will send it back to the development team. So that is what here. So functional testing, field level validations, so GUI part, everything you are going to test it here. Similarly, any bugs will be there, you're going to report it to the development team for fixing. Okay, so these all things will happen in 2 to 4 weeks only. That depends on the size of the sprint. So in this testing, yeah, so all the stories, this process will continue for all these stories, and sometimes regression sprint also will be there, regression testing. If at all it is a release sprint, then 1 week to 2 weeks for regression testing will be there to ensure that existing functionalities are not breaking. Then okay, each story we need to give the sprint review. We can call it as a sprint demo to the product owner and stakeholders. So if the product owner and stakeholders are fine, okay, so directly we can give sometimes, or else after UAT team also confirms, then also we can give sprint demo to the product owner and stakeholders. That depends on the model they are following. I mean, model in the sense how the number of layers they are following in our testing depends on that, it will be followed. Okay, so after sprint review meeting, what will happen? Sprint live. If at all it is a release sprint, then it is going to live. Otherwise, if let me assume 4 sprints are there for that release, they will wait for until 4 sprints completed, and then it will go into the live. Some cases each sprint also may go into the live. That depends on the high priority business value requirements or stories decided by the PO as per his discussion with the business team. Okay, so next, sprint retrospection. As I told you, what went well, what went wrong, so that their scrum master and the entire team, they are going to discuss here. So based on that, okay, they will learn something from here, and then they will continue with the next sprint. So this is the process in real time. It is going to happen in Agile model. Okay, so this is the process is going to happen in Agile model, about the how things are happening in Agile model and all. I hope you all understood the Agile model. That is the reason, and you may get a question here. So if requirements are changes, what will happen here? That is a good question. So if requirements are changes, you are following the sprint, for example. In the testing phase, the requirements client has changed it. What will happen? Is it going to impact the entire application or only for that particular sprint? It is going to impact only that sprint. It is not going to impact the entire application. So that is the reason, if something is not working, okay, if some enhancement came for particular functionality, it is not going to impact entire application. It is going to impact only the particular sprint, particular functionality. We no need to worry. So in the next sprint, again we will take that as an enhancement. We will put that story into the next sprint, and we will develop it and we can test it and deliver to the client. So that flexibility is there in Agile model. That is the reason Agile model is very much famous. And also in old models and all, the client people are involving at the end of month or couple of months and all. But in this model, every day the client side team is mostly involving into the meetings. Every day client will get some inputs from the teams. Okay, so some output from the teams, what they are working on, what is the progress, how much they have completed, how much is pending. So that is the reason that much flexibility is there in Agile model. Client no need to worry what my team is working and all. So every day client will get inputs from the team. That is the advantage with the Agile model. Okay, so many things we have discussed in this video. Like, if at all you want to understand the Agile model, first try to understand the terminologies. As I told you, I have done a separate video for that, and you can follow that video, and after then you can watch this video. So this is the real-time process what I am following in my company. This is completely real-time process. Okay, so I will try to cover one more video on the Jira tool, how Jira tool will work, how to maintain the stories, how to maintain the tasks in it, and so story points, where we need to give it, how to create the test cases, how to raise the bugs. I will try to cover all these things in other video on Jira. Okay, I hope you understand this video. Yeah, thanks for watching this video, and so please try to subscribe to my channel if you did already not done. Okay, that will be a more motivation to me to do more and more videos in real-time point of view, so that it will be very easy for you guys to get a job or survive in your job, or you want to switch to the other job and all. My videos really helpful for you because I am covering everything in real-time point of view. Okay, so if and one more time, if you are not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe it and encourage me to do more and more videos. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.